Let's see. What we gonna do while we waiting for people to come in? I guess nothing. Guess there's really. Let's see. Let's see. Carter 2. My son says that this is one of his top. Oh, shh. Might ask you to speak out of turn. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. My son says that Lil Wayne's Carter 2. Yeah, the Carter 2 is one of his all-time favorites. It's in his top 5. Hmm. If I had a top 5 albums, what would they be? Well, number one, hey, what's going on, Cornice? Thank you for coming through. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, I guess if my top 5 albums, well, I can name the first one would probably be number one, hands down, no arguments, would be. I'm not into. See, I'm not into that. I guess I'm old. I mean, I'm just old. There's some, hip hop that I like, and it's okay. I can live with it. I can stomach it a little bit. But for me, I'm strictly old school R&B. Uh, let's see. First and foremost, number one is Songs in the Key of Life, Stevie Wonder. It's in every song on that album you heard on the radio at least once. I mean, that thing was, yes, it was the absolute. It is the absolute truth. Then there's Marvin Gaye. What's going on? Um, Everything else is a blur, to be honest. Yeah, everything else is a blur. After those two, I could, I guess if I sat down and went through some stuff and, looked at some albums, I probably could come up with a top 5. Um, well, Michael Jackson, Thriller, uh, Luther's first album. I like that one. Luther's first album. Barry White has a lot of hits. I don't know. Well, my favorite Barry White album was the one that has my first, my last, my everything. But that's the only song that's on there that I can remember. And the only reason I remember that is because we had this station wagon with the 8-track tape player in it, and I played that song all the time. But Barry just had a bunch of hits. I can't think of an album that he did that I like. But yeah, Luther's first album was good. It's a humdinger. Um, but I can't speak enough about songs in the key of life. In fact, I remember I was in the 7th grade, and my music teacher, Miss Ball, she used to she would give us copies of the lyrics to songs, and as part of the class, she would play the song, and we sit in there and we sing the song, and I think that was one of my favorite classes ever. Probably because I really love music, so it helped. And that song, as that song is still one of my favorite all time songs. Not just by Stevie Wonder, but one of my favorite all time songs. Yeah. But let's see. What was that, Grace? I have no idea. I'm winging it right now because I just decided to do an impromptu live because I was riding Auntie's coattail. She was like, "Hey, I want to go live," and then she's like, "I don't think so." So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go live. And then of course she says something, and I'm like, well, I guess I should just go ahead and do it. Auntie, she's around here somewhere in the mansion that we live in. She's in the west wing or the east wing, or maybe she's like right behind me. I don't. She's near. She's got on this stuff. I don't know what it's. Some kind of perfume or something. It smells really nice. She won't tell me what the name of it is because I think she knows that if she tells me the name, that I'll go out and buy it for her. And she's always I will let her know. Cornice says hi, Auntie.
Hi, Cornice.
See, I told you she was close.
How are you, my love?
She won't tell me the name because she knows I'll go out and buy it. And she's like, I don't want you to spend that kind of money. And I'm trying to figure out how she gonna tell me how much I should spend for her gift. I don't understand that. First of all, I'm asking her what she wants, so I'm giving her an option, but you can't just take total control of the entire situation. You're gonna tell me what you want, then you're gonna tell me how much you want me to pay for it, or that I shouldn't pay this much. And I'm not understanding that. But
Happy to hear you too, Cornice.
Where you hear Cornice at?
I'm,
You hear her?
I mean,
Really?
I mean, I'm happy to read your comment, Cornice. Good grief, you're the only one in here.
It's cool. It says 3 people watching.
Oh,
So maybe that's Cornice. She in here all the way. It's a bunch of her in here. That's cool.
Get it how you get it, right?
Yeah, I need something to drink.
Where's Ed at, Cornice?
Yeah, where's Ed?
Yeah, I told him he just need to come up here, just to get some time in since he hadn't been live in a while.
Yeah, and actually I'm showing off because I'm off tomorrow. Because usually about this time I'm getting ready for bed. But since I will be off until Sunday, I may even go live again tomorrow. Even go live again Friday. I'm saying that now, but I know doggone well I probably won't.
Quenisha, your food looked really good the other day. I watched your
Oh, one you or somebody else is in other people,
okay.
2 other people in the bushes. Well, I think it's one other person because I think they include me in my own live. I don't understand that, but I think that's what they did. But anywho, hey Ed, what's up, my brother? Hope all is well.
Quenisha did a video the other day, and she was doing a mukbang with Beloved's sauces. She got some new sauces in there. I waited. I gotta see her do this danger one because I heard a lot about the danger, and
she did it.
She tried it, but she couldn't handle it.
It's too hot.
Yeah, she says it's real hot.
I don't understand. He said he just talking like you hear him. I hear you, Ed. I hear you, bro. Don't pay her no mind. I hear you. I hear you. She said dangerous. Nope.
Yeah, that's what I heard when I saw you. I don't
understand how y'all eat that. I don't even understand how people eat that stuff. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. Yeah. Also, well, since there's nobody here to hear the news, I'll share it anyway. I was promoted.
He said he loved your list.
Well, thank you. What list? I put up a list. I be doing stuff, don't even know what I'm talking about. Oh, the albums. I'm so retarded. Nah, I ain't doing no challenge with it.
Who did a challenge with the Danger, Cornice?
If it got a name called Danger that I don't want it. I got it, Cornice. I caught on. I'm a little slow sometimes.
Well, Cornice, if you can handle the danger and the dangers that I saw hot, you might as well go on and do a challenge with that PACU chip. I want to do it all, but I'm scared.
He said her Ed.
Oh, who won? Ed, of course.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger. Oh, but anyway, I wanted to say I was promoted to program director for the radio station. Now I have no idea what a program director does, but and the original dream was to have a radio show. That was it. That was the thing, to have my very own radio show. Thank you, Cornice. However, um, things are changing, and but I'm truly I'm happy. I'm excited. There's some fear, but um, sometimes, as Steve Harvey says, you just got to jump. And so I'm gonna give it my best shot. And I have some amazing people that I work with that um, will be more than happy to that to help me, and push me along and teach me some of the ropes. And so I'm looking forward to it, and plus I still get to keep my show, so that's great. We just Matter of fact, we just dropped, if you look at the on the shit, excuse me, on the thumbnail, you'll see where at the bottom we just dropped our own, we have our own app now. The Artlist app. If you have an iPhone, you can get it from the Play Store, or if you have an Android, it's in the Google, the Apple, whatever Apple does. I'm not into iPhones and Apple. I'm an Android dude. But if you can go to the Google Play Store, and just look up Artlist. I'll put it in the chat here. Just pull up Artlist, and you can download the app. It's free, and you can listen to all our stations, preferably um, Vibe 95, and then you can check me out from 10 to 2. Oh, you got to pay for everything. Oh, well, on Google, in the Google Play Store, it's free. So if you have an Android, or if you're just sitting at your laptop, you can go to artlist.com, and you can pull it up there. Pull up Vibe 95, and then you'll see all of our radio our station personalities. There have been some changes. There's some people that we're still you know working on some stuff. It's still growing. We have some time slots that we need to fill, but 10 to 2 Monday through Friday is locked and loaded, and it's the show that I like to call the sexiest nighttime show on radio, and that is Late Night with Unc, where you can hear all your favorite classic R&B slow jams from the 70s, 80s, 90s. There's some from today, although I'm not really into those today because they don't really sing. I don't know. They don't have that same. The songs they sing now. I mean, they're so explicit. I mean, they just say it. They just, you know. I mean, people talked about how Teddy Pendergrass, he would be like, close the door and turn off the lights and come in, stuff like that. And but it wasn't explicit. Now it's like they just like take your clothes off. I'm like, what? I mean, they be talking about all the stuff they want to do and bending and stretching, and I'm like, this is just crazy. It's like it's crazy. My So I stay in my lane. Anything from the early 2000s. Yeah, that's basically it. Just sex. That's all it is. So the early 2000s I can do. The 90s, they were cool. The 80s was, yeah. But the 70s, see, the 70s, when they had like the groups like the Dramatics, the Shy Lights, the Stylistics, um, the Delphonics, Skip Mahoney and the Casuals. I know some people may not know about them. Terry Huff, you know, just that right there, that that's my stuff. I love the 70s music, you know, and the 80s was good. That's when the greatest love song ever recorded, Lenny Williams, you know, Cause I Love You. That is the absolute greatest love song ever sung, ever written, ever performed, hands down. If you could tell me one that's better, let me know. Let's debate it. But that one right there, mm-mm, it cannot be touched. It's and you when you listen to the song, you can hear the emotions. You can you can feel what he was singing. And in fact, I did a little bit of research, and it turns out that this song was actually a he was going through something with his girl, and that song summed up their relationship a little bit and what he was going through. And there was some little guy that he was having some work done on his house, and whoever was doing the work, their son, I guess he was a songwriter or something. So they sat down together and did the song. And it turns out that you know the song propelled him to a place where he never thought he would be. And after a while, him and his wife, because him and the girl broke up or whatever, that didn't work out. So later on in life, he got married, and him and his wife were going through some financial troubles. And if y'all remember the Kings of Comedy, when Steve Harvey did his his set on the show, he used that song, you know, as one of his, in one of his skits, or not skits, but in his set. And it made the song even more popular. And he said next thing he knew, money just started rolling in, and so it helped him get out of that financial bind that he was in. So he was really appreciative of that. Yeah, that's something, who knew, you know, who knew? But yeah, it really helped him out. He didn't know. And Steve Harvey said he didn't know that he was going through anything, because it's not like they were friends or really knew each other. He said that he was on a show and Steve Harvey was there, and that's when he told him the story about how he was in this financial bind, and they were going through it really bad. And when Steve Harvey made the song popular again, people started buying it and playing it. And I guess he owns something, and so when the song plays, or I guess he got paid, and so it became popular again, and boom, there it went. But that is, to me, and a lot of people, and in fact, I was looking up the song, and it is in fact, you know according to a lot of people, the greatest love song ever. And I tend to agree. So that's two greatest evers. um, Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder. Some people have debated. I remember going live and talking about this, and I don't even remember what other albums it they brought up. But for me, as far as R&B is concerned, and maybe even total, you know, I guess depending on what you like, you know, if you're into to rock, or if you're into classic, you're into country, um, hip hop, or whatever. Everybody has their own, you know, number one greatest whatever. But I don't think, I think that because I love you, it transcends every genre of music. If you, I mean, in my opinion, you know, any love song that's ever been created or sung or performed, you don't get that pure emotion. Now, if somebody sings a song live, you know, it hits a little different, you know, when they're live and they're singing it. But as far as a studio song that had, you can actually, and even today when you play it, if you pull that song up right now and you played it, you can hear the raw emotion of him singing that song. You can hear that he was going through something, that song actually meant something, you know. So that's why, you know, I say that. And of course, you know, I could probably go somewhere and they'll debate me and they'll be like, you crazy, you know. But whatever, we could debate that all day long. And I would, you know, the to me, I'm a proponent of agreeing to disagree. However, with that one, I would never agree to disagree. There's nothing anybody could tell me that, you know. Sometimes you hear people say, yeah, you know what, well, maybe that you could be right, but this one, nah, ain't nothing. There's no debate. Hands down, the greatest love song over every genre of music that has ever been performed. You know, so you say what you want. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Just like with Stevie Wonder's "Songs in the Key of Life." Dude was talking about, yeah, with Marvin Gaye, yeah, but that song, that album, that What's Going On, that was a that is a still a great album. It it said a lot about where he was, you know, in terms of how he felt about, you know, the country and what was going on in the world. You know, it was a message. And the crazy thing is, Berry Gordy never wanted to release that album. So when Marvin Gaye first, you know, did the album, he you know, they you know, he didn't want to release it because everything that Marvin had done up to that point was mostly up tempo, you know, dance, got the little buddy hops and all that stuff. And so here you have this album with all these, first of all, slow songs or ballads and um message songs. And so he didn't want to, he didn't want to release it. So it got to the point where, Marvin Gaye, he became depressed, and he started to second guess himself, and so eventually told Motown that if you don't release this album, I would never do another song for Motown. Well, I guess somewhere somebody said, they found out he might be serious, and they released it, and it became one of the biggest sellers of all time. Yeah, his later, yeah, yeah. I was watching a video, and they talked about how he really, really, because of his drug use, um, he became paranoid. He suffered from depression really bad, and he was always looking for a way out. And the narrator of the video, he did bring up something that could be, that his father was his way out, because I was listening to his one of his sisters had said that their father always told them that if you ever put your hands on me, I brought you into this world and I will take you out. And so they had this big brouhaha, and he punched his father. And so I guess his father, they say he turned around and walked in the room, and he stayed in the room for a little while. He was probably sitting in there, trying to get himself together. And, it's like, I can't, but and I could almost imagine him saying, I can't believe this, some whatever, hit me, you know. And so it probably came up in his head. And, they said that he was already jealous of him because of his success, and because he didn't want him to go into secular music in the first place. And so he bought, and because he bought the house, and, the father, he was the father. He was a man's, well, there were some issues about that, but I'll talk about that in a little while. But yeah, his dad had issues. There was the cross dressing thing, and they used to make fun of Marvin Gaye because everybody knew, his father was a preacher, and during the day he wore suits and stuff like that. But then once he got home, he would put on his wife's clothes, and so he liked to dress in women's clothes. I mean, they said he wasn't gay, but he just liked to dress in women's clothes, I guess. But that's a whole nother story for something else. But um, he hit his daddy, and he hit him, and so I guess that prophecy. Hey, what's going on, ATL Shorty Child Boo? The prophecy became real, where he, I brought you into this world. I'm gonna take you out. And what's crazy is that he had given his father the gun because he thought that somebody was trying to kill him, not knowing that that very gun that he gave to his dad to help protect him would be the weapon that was used to take him out. And I was listening, watching this video, and they talked about how when the paramedics got there, they didn't want to go in because they didn't know if what the situation was, and they said they wasn't going in as long as that man was in there with the gun. So somebody had to go in there and get him, bring him and the gun out, and so they finally went in, and he died in his brother's arms. That was crazy. That was really, really crazy. And so he was one of the greatest, and he was still young. I think he was like 45, 44, was right before his birth, the day before his birthday. And I remember sitting in the car listening to the radio, and they said Marvin Gaye is dead. And I'm sitting there waiting for, because it was April Fool's Day. And I'm sitting there waiting for, you know, April Fool, although that would have been a very cruel April Fool joke. But, nowadays it would be par for the course, because, you can look at Google sometimes, and or you go through your Facebook feed sometimes, you'll see where somebody says so and so is dead. Then you go look it up, and they're like, no, it was a hoax. And you're like, but that was I was really shocked by that. Like I said, I was sitting there waiting for somebody to say April Fool. Everybody thought it was a joke, and nobody realized how serious it was until you saw the news coverage, and you saw them taking the body out in the body bag. And the reality came in that yeah, this man, he's gone. And I was like, wow. See, yeah, name your top 5 artists Oh wait, did I get to? Okay, let me see if I can come up with mine. Prince, Michael Jackson. Mm, Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin. I love Aretha Franklin. Her voice was just so powerful. Let's see, Prince, Michael Jackson. I said somebody else. This getting old thing is like, see, Prince, Michael Jackson, Aretha Franklin. Who else? I need two more. Two more. Hmm. I like Luther, but I don't know if he's in my top five. Is he? Is he? I think he might be. Hmm. Chris Brown. Yeah, I like Shaka Khan. Okay, and Whitney. Yeah. Yeah, I like Whitney. See, the Chris Brown threw me off because I guess because I'm just so old school that I just refuse. I just for whatever reason I just refuse to include anybody that's in that is hip hop thing. I just can't do it. Yeah, but yeah, I love Aretha. My cousin used to sing "Ain't No Way," and I would sit and listen to her sing that song, and I would just be mesmerized. I'm like, dang, she. And now I ask her about it. That I guess as we've gotten older, she kind of doesn't remember, but yeah, but that's another one of my favorite songs. "Ain't No Way" by Aretha Franklin. And of course, one of my favorite ballads that because I've loved ballads since I was about 10, 9 or 10. People they call them love songs. I mean, at 9 and 10, I didn't know nothing about love or nothing like that. Now I did have a crush on my, and I talk about it, and it drives Auntie crazy. It doesn't drive her crazy. It probably irritates her that I talk about my fifth grade teacher, Miss Jones. But that song Billy Paul, Me and Mrs. Jones, that became one of my favorites. Um, but I've always, yeah, I love Gladys. You know, yeah, even when she went solo. But I've loved ballads since I was a little kid, and I remember when the Quiet Storm came out on WHUR with Melvin Lindsay, and it actually had provided a platform and for me to listen to music, the music that that was my music. That was my, oh man, it's even now. Um, and I think that's why the show works for me. Um, because yeah, I've always dreamed of being Melvin Lindsay. That was my thing. And so when the opportunity came for the show, I'm like, man, this is just okay. It's cool. And even now, sometimes I because I with my work schedule, I really don't get to listen to it like I want to. So, but when I get a chance to listen to it, I just think that here I am. I have this radio show, and actually people, not just people in the area can hear me, and not just in the United States, but all over the world. Anybody that has a computer can just pull it up, or if they got a cell phone now, you can download the app and you can listen to it. And so you could take it wherever you go and listen to it whenever you feel like it. And it's I can't put it into words or describe the feeling. um and like the other last week when we had our staff meeting, we were talking about just throwing through ideas and stuff like that. And a couple of the personalities were talking about how when they interact with people, as far as talking about the radio show, I mean the radio station, they're like, "Hey, who's Uncle David?" And when they say that, I blush, yes. And it fills me with a sense of pride to know that people are actually listening and they actually like the show. And I once as time goes on and the radio station starts to grow more, and eventually we'll have our own studio and we'll be able to go live. And so I'm really really looking forward to that. Just being able to sit there and have more control over what's being played, because like right now it's just a playlist. I downloaded all the music as much as they would allow me to put down. I mean I have like thousands of, "Hey Shishi, how are you, my dear? Thank you for coming through. How have you been? It's really good to see you." um to I can't wait to go live. And because like right now, it's like I was saying, it's a playlist, and so I have like thousands of songs. And I had uploaded a whole heap of stuff, but they told me that my music was taking up a lot of the bandwidth, so I had to delete some. And I wish I had remembered what I deleted, because then I could know what. Because now that I'm the program director, I can add stuff and delete stuff, and at, you know I mean, I can't just do it when I feel like it, but I do have a little bit more you know leeway to do stuff. And so, like I said, right now we're just doing a playlist, but once we eventually go live, uh, like I said, I'll have more control over the content. I can play just more stuff. I got I have just and every day the Quiet Storm actually has their own app. um and so I listen to that to get ideas, and a lot of the songs that they play I already have, but then there are some that I don't have. Or there'll be somebody that comes on, and they'll have a song, and then I'll be like, "Ooh," and I'll go back and and pull them up and see what other records they had. And then that's when I usually find songs that I used to listen to, because there are some songs that I used to listen to that I don't remember them, but when I hear them, it comes to me. And so, well, thank you, Cornice. I appreciate that. So it's a lot of fun, just listening to oldies. And like I didn't know that Patti LaBelle and Ron Isley had a song together. And I'm like, wait a minute, when did this happen? I was like, dang, that's pretty cool. In fact, let me see if I can find it. I ain't playing it because I'm not fooling with YouTube no more. They said that if you play music, we getting you. So I go through YouTube sometimes, and I see people, they be playing their little songs. And yeah, it's a song called "Gotta Go Solo," but I had no idea that Patti LaBelle and Ron Isley had a song, and I just happened to be going through perusing through the YouTube streets, and it popped up, and I'm like, wait a minute, what is this? And so I listened to it. I'm like, hey, I like this, so I added it to my playlist. I am doing well, Shishi. Auntie's doing well. Don't work too hard, hun. Don't work too hard. But thank you. I appreciate you coming through. But yeah, it's this radio thing is it's coming along, and I'm enjoying it. In fact, I'm working on a new channel for the radio station. It's called Late Night with Unc. Hold on, let me drop the link if I can find it. Yeah, but let's see. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's the new channel. I'm working on it, so feel free to stop by. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to it. It's coming along. I'm working on it. It's still a work in progress. I've dropped a couple of videos over there. You know, nothing, earth shattering, but I'm still trying to come up with ideas to on what to do with it. Eventually, I will go live from it. I still won't be playing any music because I don't want to make YouTube mad at me. But I'm gonna figure out some things to do. Maybe do what like I did over here. Do some interviews. Um, round up some people. I try to make some connections and maybe get some old school people on there that to talk about their experience. A lot of them before they leave this earth, because a lot of the people that I listen to are they're a little, as they used to say, old in the long in the tooth. So but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I need to work on I need to drop some more voice tracks. So I need to work on that and come up with ideas for the station and just start to walk into my role. Thank you, Shishi. As the program director, like I said, I have no clue, but I work with a very wonderful team. Who they're more than willing to help and guide me and show me and teach me the ropes. So it's a great thing. I mean, I'm really enjoying life right now. Having fun. My job will be ending on the 30th. Well, actually, my last day of work will be the 29th. So I'll just have a whole lot of time on my hands. Not having to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning would probably be a blessing. Although I love what I do, I do Uber. The company had a contract, with Uber to do wheelchair accessible, and so I really enjoy that. I enjoy the Uber, so at some point I'm going to get my own vehicle and just do Uber. That way, I mean, I could have my own schedule and do it when I feel like it. I don't have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and stuff like that. Because I'm actually I feel like I'm too old for that. I'm not an old man, but 60 and 25 is a bit different. Doing the things that I could do at 25, can't necessarily do at 60. You need a little bit more rest, a little bit more sleep, you know, to get yourself keep yourself in line. But I've been on here about 45 minutes. I think I'm gonna go ahead and check out before I run out of stuff to talk about. And I'll probably be back Friday night. I'm not even going to say tomorrow night, because if I do, it'll be just an impromptu like this one. But I'm going to try to go live Friday night, maybe a little later. Shit, it's 9 o'clock now. But yeah, maybe a little later. Do a real late night. How I used to do it when I first started YouTube, when I was trying to get my hours, and I'd be up here cutting a fool 11, 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'll do that. But Cornice, I thank you. Thank you, Aunt Maddie. Thank you, ATL Shorty. She, I appreciate you. I think that was it. Yeah. And whoever else was in the bushes, I appreciate you too. So I will see you all Friday, hopefully, maybe tomorrow, who knows. But until then, I'm out. Peace.